start with is Bernie Sanders giving him a piece of his mind. I hope this makes us feel better in some way. I feel the burn. I'm very proud of Bernie Sanders for being like the fucking only guy that we've ever been able to count on. It's going to be sad when he goes. We deserve many more like him, but he's what we got. He's the best of us.
I do not often find myself in the habit of thanking Elon Musk, but I must confess that he has done an exceptional job of demonstrating a point that a few of us have been making for years, and that is the reality that we live in an oligarchic society in which billionaires dominate not only our politics and the information we consume from media, but our government and economic lives as well.
Yeah, that sucks. That's not good at all. He's right. I'm glad that he's using as always, Bernie's using the correct words to describe what's actually happening. Will human beings who live amongst us care enough en masse? Who knows?
That has never been clearer than it is today. But given the news and attention Mr. Musk has been getting over the last few weeks as he illegally and unconstitutionally dismantles government agencies, I think it is an appropriate time to ask the question that the media and most politicians don't seem to be asking. What do he and other multi-billionaires really want? What is their endgame?
I gotta be honest, I genuinely think a lot of them think that they can insulate themselves from the world that they have created, like insofar as like climate change and the disasters and catastrophes that are happening from that, insulation from the public that they have harmed, and insulation from the governments that they have propped up.
In my opinion, what Musk and those around him are aggressively striving for is not novel, it is not complicated, and it is not new. It is what ruling classes throughout history have always wanted and have always believed is theirs by right. More power, more control, and more wealth.
Yep. Yeah. It's crazy how, like, similar to cyberpunk this all is. Like, it's not... It's like the guy was a little political savvy or something. It's crazy.
And they don't want ordinary people, that's you, and democracy getting in their way. They want it all. Elon Musk and his fellow oligarchs believe government and laws are simply an impediment to their interests and what they are entitled to. In pre-revolutionary America, before the
he brought up a revolution.
1770s, the ruling class governed through a doctrine called the divine rights of kings.
Yeah.
The belief that the King of England was an agent of God and he was not to be questioned by mere mortals.
This is like literally how MAGA people think. It's so disgusting to me. I have no respect for it whatsoever. Isn't it closer to a plutocracy? No. Almost all of the resources are owned by corporations. You know what I mean?
In modern
billionaires.
times, we no longer have the divine right of kings. What we now have is an ideology being pushed by the oligarchs, which says that as very, very wealthy people, often self-made, often as the masters of revolutionary new technology, it is their absolute right to rule. In other words, these modern-day oligarchs are our kings.
Somebody's been saying this around here. I feel like, man, Bernie, what needs to be done? Is it like a Highlander situation? Can you give me the Space Jam basketball? Like, what do I got to do to get into elections and start doing that? Try, maybe? Because I don't really want. I like my life. I don't want to live that life. I think this is the problem in general. Is most people who are savvy about any of this shit and have any of the people's fucking working class opinions don't want to rule anybody. They don't want to go fucking do politics and climb uphill for 10 years to maybe pass some bills that help. No one wants to do that. I don't blame them. The only people that want to do that shit are people that want to either the rare statesmen or statespeople that come out, or people that want to use the position to get money, man. Sucks.
And it is not just power. It's incredible wealth that they have. Today, Mr. Musk is worth $402 billion. Zuckerberg is worth $252 billion. Bezos is worth $249 billion.
That's disgusting. This should not be allowed. A lot of this is speculative wealth too, because it's just like stock market nonsense. But even so, they're obviously more liquid wealthy than anyone on earth.
With combined wealth of over $900 billion, these three people own more wealth than the bottom half of American society.
Three people with more wealth than 175 million people combined. For what? Essentially, I'm thinking piñata things at this point. Like, that's where we're at. Just because, I guess. Yeah. It's, deeply unethical to allow.
Not surprisingly, since Trump was...
Particularly in a capitalist... Okay, if we had all our needs met, this wouldn't matter. You can chase your fucking numbers. But guess what? No one else would give a shit. Everybody else would be like, okay, who fucking cares how much money people have? As long as your needs are met and you're not being, like, kept out of parts of society, we could end homelessness 10 times over. It would, quite simply, we could fix society if three people broke open like piñatas. Yeah. Like, not even joking.
Elected, their wealth has...
That's not even... Can we put into context that that's not even the wealth of the companies? The companies are like separate accounts worth billions on their own. This is just the billions that trickle to them. You do not need them for this. There's no reason for this kind of business practice. Insane.
Soared. Musk has become $138 billion richer. Zuckerberg has become $49 billion richer. And Bezos has become $28 billion richer, all since Election Day.
Coincidence?
Meanwhile, while the very rich become much richer, 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 85 million are uninsured or underinsured.
Yep.
25% of seniors are trying to survive on $15,000 a year or less. 800,000 are homeless.
That's probably a conservative estimate also. 800,000 homeless. This doesn't count all the people that are in shelter but don't have any property rights, aren't on a lease somewhere, are couch surfing, are at a friend's, are just roommates with somebody else, or stacked in an apartment with somebody else, or just someone's partner, so they're living there. There's so much more than this. It's millions of people are, without permanent, stable residence, and it's kind of like a day-to-day situation based on your relationship with the people around you. You know what I mean? We don't have stable living situations in America. I think this is unique to our situation. It feels like other countries, while you might move around a little bit and explore life and go about, it feels like a lot of them have I've been in this fucking flat for 15 years me and my family grew up, even if it's an apartment, in this fucking place, and that is how it used to be here, but this is deteriorating. I don't know anybody. My childhood home is not in the family anymore. I don't know people who have that still. Really, it happens, but it's less and less.
And we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth. Do you think for 1 second that the oligarchs give a damn about working people?
No.
Trust me, they don't. Musk's decision to dismember USAID means that tens of thousands of the poorest people around the world will go hungry or die of preventable diseases.
It's fucking incredible.
But it's not just abroad. Here in the United States, they will soon be going after the healthcare, nutrition, housing, and educational programs that protect the most vulnerable people in our country, all so that Congress can provide huge tax breaks for them and their fellow billionaires.
How can you be a capitalist if it's so obviously rigged against anyone from a working class to succeed? Like, that there is, like, minimal permeability should tell you that it's not, like, this idea of prosperity for everybody is crazy. It's just not a thing. Because you have prosperity, really true, like, evil levels of prosperity for a handful of people. We're talking worldwide, less like a 2,000 people or less. It's insane to allow dragons to rule us when the dragons are fucking powerless. They're just like you and me. They got nothing else going on. They're even dumber in a lot of cases because most of them inherited their... Like, both Elon Musk and Donald Trump inherited their fucking fortunes and the companies and shit that they run. It's insane. Like, they just parlayed their inheritance into other things. Having money. They already had it.
As modern-day kings who believe they have the absolute right to rule, they will sacrifice, without hesitation, the well-being of working people to protect their interests. Further, they will use the enormous media operations they own to deflect attention away from the impact of their policies while they entertain us to death.
Pretty much.
Mr. Musk owns Twitter. Mr. Zuckerberg owns Meta, which includes Facebook and Instagram, and Mr. Bezos owns the Washington Post and Twitch.
Yep.
Further, they and their fellow oligarchs will continue to spend huge amounts of money to buy politicians in both major political parties. Bottom line, the oligarchs, with their enormous resources, are waging a war against the working class of this country, and it is a war that they are intent on winning. Now, I'm not going to kid you. The problems this country faces right now are extremely serious.
Sucks.
The economy is rigged.
Yep.
Our campaign finance system is corrupt. And we are...
Well, to make it, both of these things are issues with capital. I mean, all of this is going to come back to capitalism is the problem until we solve it. The only way to have an ethical form of capitalism in the way that all of these people really want to have so that they can make money is to untangle it from people's needs. That's the only way forward. Other than that, you're going to have strife, and eventually, if it goes on long enough and hard enough, you'll have revolution. It'll always happen that way. People will not go to work for you. People will just they'll do what they have to do. No one wants to do that. Everybody wants the system to just correct course and work for everybody. You can still have rich people that want to seek these things, and they can have, if they wish to pursue some kind of wealth thing in their life to feel fulfilled. I don't mind if you do it in a market that doesn't involve hurting people and taking advantage of them. If you can do it ethically, I don't fucking care at all. Theoretically, in a system that you don't need to rely on corporations for your healthcare, your food, and your fucking shelter, I don't give a shit if Elon Musk makes $1 billion on selling cars to people, as long as they're good cars, right? Like, I don't give a shit. You could foresee a place where luxury cars could still be bought. Whatever. It's dumb.
Struggling to control climate change, an existential threat to our planet, among many, many other important issues. But this is what I do know. The worst fear that the ruling class in this country has is that Americans, black, white, Latino, urban and rural, gay and straight, young and old, that all of us will come together to demand a government that represents all of the people in our country.
I mean, he's not asking for a revolution, but he's asking for like a soft launch.
Not just
of
the wealthy
solidarity.
few. The oligarch's nightmare is that we will not allow ourselves to be divided up by race, religion, sexual orientation, or country of origin, and will together have the courage to take them on. Will this struggle be easy? Absolutely not. And one of the reasons for that is that the ruling class of this country will constantly remind you that they have all the power. They control the government. They own the media. You want to take us on? Good luck, they will say. There is nothing you can do about it.
I mean, I think people can think of some things to do about stuff. There's definitely methods. By the way, I think it would be delightful if the government was disallowed from having its own standing army, and the people were the ones that wielded the violence. Have the people's army away from the politics of that branch of government. We could still get it done.
But our job right now, in these very difficult...
I wonder if they cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid in the same week, what happens?
I hope you have a fantastic day.
Well, we're about to fucking find out. I mean, I'd like to think that people would get into the street. I mean, they're already in the street for the threat of it, so.
Difficult times is to not forget the great struggles and sacrifices that millions of people have waged over the several centuries to create a more democratic, just, and humane society. Think about it. Over the last number of centuries, how many people have stood up and fought? And when they were doing that, you know what their contemporaries said? They said, hey, you want to overthrow the King of England to create a new nation and self-rule? Forget about it. Impossible.
Forget about it.
You want to establish universal suffrage, right of all people to vote? Impossible. Can't happen. You want to end slavery and segregation? Impossible. You want to grant workers the right to form unions and end child labor? Can't be done. Impossible. You want to give women control over their own bodies? Who are you kidding? Impossible. Can't be done. You want to pass legislation to establish Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, a minimum wage, clean air and water standards? Impossible. In other words, as Nelson Mandela told us, everything is impossible until it is done.
Bars, Bernie.
In these difficult times, despair is not an option. We've got to fight back in every way we can. We have to get involved in the political process, run for office, connect with our local, state, and federal legislators, donate to candidates who will fight for the working class of this country. We have got to create...
I would love if Democrats had any sort of those options.
New channels for communication and information sharing. We have to volunteer not just politically, but to build community locally. Whatever we can do is what we must do. Needless to say, I intend to do my part, both inside the Beltway and traveling throughout the country, to stand up for working families and to take on the oligarchy. In the days, weeks, and months ahead, I hope you will join me in that struggle. We can win, we will win, we must win. Thank you very much.
I believe he believes it, and I believe it too. I mean, from a raw number standpoint. My current issue is, of course, with my disappointment in the fellow American. The fellow American is a disaster human, almost always. I love Bernie Sanders. He's a beautiful man. We deserve more like him. Will we get more like him? Who fucking knows? Shall we be allowed more like him? It's more of us than them. Land doesn't vote. People do. Well, so I'm very much looking forward to the general strikes. I'm very much did you know that it's actually illegal to general strike? Like in those words, like you can't just everyone just choose en masse at the same time to strike. It's illegal for some reason. Like, I mean, not for some reason, for obvious reasons, right? But of course, what would they do if? Yes, fucking way. It is illegal to general strike. They can't coordinate. However, what the UAW and many other large unions have done, I think this includes the Actors Guild with their new stuff. This includes the farm unions. They have coordinated for their contracts to all run out in on March 1st or something of 2028. And so we could have a big fucking general strike. The problem is that's late. That's late to the party. We need it now. But yeah, it's because an actual general strike would kneecap the country within a week, if not a day. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Why so late? That's just when the contracts could be coordinated too. So they coordinated but didn't, and it probably had something to do with avoiding the illegality of a general strike and also just the timing of everybody else's contracts. So they probably all decided together that it was like the earliest / best and most effective date they could come up with. So we are going to have one, but is it going to be soon enough? Who knows? I don't know. We need more than just a strike. I mean, we need motherfuckers to go to fucking like the shooting range and brush up if they're ever going to take another shot. And then we need it to not be a fucking the wrong kind of person. And then if anything like that doesn't happen, we need the right politicians on the Democratic side to have enough actual fucking momentum to do anything and not get kneecapped by the fucking liberals. Like, back to this. Literally just popped up while I'm scrolling and ranting. Fucking the Bernie Sanders. This pisses me off every fucking time I look at it. Every time this is the donation heat map. In the blue is where Bernie Sanders, like if it's blue, more people gave to Bernie Sanders. You can see Michigan, obviously, and then everyone else is coordinated to their color based on the highest amounts of dollars they got from everybody. It's pretty clear who the country was behind, but the DNC wasn't behind him, and so Joseph Biden, well, I guess Hillary Clinton, but this is the 2020. Yeah, this is the 2021. But our parents failed us. Our grandparents failed us. Like, at every conceivable notion. Like, they left a world that's shit. I mean, it's their fault. They're bad people. It sucks. They're just, like, legitimately bad fucking people. It's a sad reality to, like, look at this. There's like, a handful of influential people that have risen to the top that, like, really gave us sort of a decent go of it. There's going to be, like, quiet people behind the scenes, but, like, man, they just really fucked it. Step by step, they're continuing to fuck it too. Like, it just keeps happening. You ever been in the car with somebody that's not a very good driver? You go from the like when you're young, this sort of like I don't know about speaking up about this, but maybe I'll just like white knuckle it a little bit, and then you get a little bit older and you're like, hey, you might say a few things, you might speak up a little bit, and then eventually it's like, hey, motherfucker, you gotta drive better. You're not a very good fucking driver. That's where we're at.